This morning we got this through the post from Countrywide, our letting agents. We write on behalf of your landlord to give you notice to terminate your tenancy at the above property. In accordance with the Housing Act 1988, Section 21, your tenancy will therefore terminate on the 5th of May 2025, when subject to vacant possession, your rental liability will cease. So when I got this and I opened it and I read it, I was just in shock. So I've heard of this happening to other people, but I guess I was of the mind like, I don't know, I just didn't think it would happen to me. And we've rented for a lot of years, different places, haven't we, Paul?
Oh, yeah.
And this has never happened. So we've lived in this house for 4.5 years. Obviously, really settled here.
Well, it's home, really.
It's home, yeah. And it's just such a shock that you can just get a letter like that and that's it, you're turfed out. Even when you've done nothing wrong, we've always paid the rent on time, we've looked after the house. Well, in fact, we've kept our side of the bargain better than the landlord because we had to live without hot water.
Well, the landlord's agents.
Or the landlord's agents. I don't know who was responsible, but the boiler broke. We informed them that the boiler broke. We had no heating and no hot water for months. This is a while ago now, and it went on for ages, and it only got sorted out when I contacted the council because I didn't know, but it was like the council will step in because it's like environmental
Health
yeah, because it was like environmental health
issue.
But that's a while ago now, so I can't. Apparently, he wants to move back in, but it's just like you're second-class citizen.
Oh, very much so, yeah.
You know,
I don't know if
everything
it's
is
just
on their side. They can do. We've never done anything wrong. They have. They didn't renew our boiler when they should have, and we had no hot water. And we had no heating for months.
Section 21 is going to be repealed, which means the tenant's got more rights. But in a situation like this, when the landlord wants to move back into the house himself,
you can still just open your mail in the morning and be hit with this. And now that it's happened, even when we find somewhere else to live and we move in, it's always going to be hanging over to me. It's like you'd just be worried about your mail. Just getting this letter.
Well, I guess this is why I don't know if things are different in on the continent in Europe, but it's
in the US.
Or in the US, but it's pretty second class to be renting in the UK, and I guess this is why people put up with the idea of going for a mortgage, so you've got your own property.
Well, yeah, if you qualify.
If you qualify for a mortgage, yeah.
So, yeah, that makes me angry that we've done nothing wrong. They did, and yet we can be just turfed out. But there's something else that angers me, and that's like, you get this letter. You've had this relationship, you know, with your letting agency, and you know people there, and you've been here for 4.5 years.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is like massive upheaval. We've got to immediately start thinking about, we've got to find somewhere to live. We've got to sort out removals.
Yeah.
Obviously, it costs a hell of a lot of money. We've got to get a skip to chuck stuff out.
And all this while running your normal life.
Yeah, and you've got to do it just like that.
Well, 4 months.
Well, you've got to start straight away, though, Paul. You know,
yeah.
It's not a quick process moving
Of course,
and find somewhere to live. Thing is, they give you this letter. They send you this letter just saying, we write on behalf of your landlord to give you notice to terminate your tenancy. Just like that. So no, we're very sorry to inform you, you know, Mr. and Mrs. blah blah.
This is part of the second class feeling that it leaves
you know, I mean, you can't even. There's like zero empathy. It's like you're not even a person.
It's almost like you are an animal.
Yeah, it's just like you're farmed. It's like, to these letting agents, you're just like an animal to be farmed and make money out of, and you're not a real person. You don't have lives. You don't have feelings. It's just like they just give you something like that through the post.
A lot of people would say, "Oh, well, maybe you should have bought a house earlier on."
Well, yeah, but we did once, but then we had to sell it. You know, people's circumstances are like that, aren't they?
A lot of people who perhaps own their own house would probably think, "Well, that's what you get when you rent. That's just the way it is."
But Paul, even if it's acceptable that you have no stability when you rent a house, why the sort of coldness? Why the lack of any sort of courtesy? Like you nothing. So I thought I'd just make this video, get that off my chest, and make a bit of a blog about how we sort out this mess.
The process of changing one home after being kicked out for another.
Yeah, when
Hopefully
it's just chucked on you like that out the blue, totally.
And you give them a time limit of 4 months, and it's like, that's it.
Well, actually, it's 3 months.
3 months, yeah.